How's it going, everyone? Bill here, and I wanted to talk to you today about Trulieve Cannabis Corporation. Trulieve is a company that mostly has all their shops in Florida and has a big presence there, and is also one of the few cannabis companies that is actually profitable. They also have recently bought Harvest, which gives them more properties in Florida, and also has them start adding properties in Arizona. And they've recently begun to start opening some in Pennsylvania. While this company has been very profitable, because of all the hits to growth stocks this year, it's seen its stock price take a real tumble. Today, I want to take a look at what some people have to say about Trulieve, and then we'll get into some financials and see where they're doing things right. As I stated, Trulieve recently finalized their purchase of Harvest Health and Recreation, and this deal made Trulieve the largest marijuana retailer in the United States. Not only did it was already Florida's largest medical marijuana operator, but this deal, like I said, made them the biggest cannabis retailer in the United States. This deal went for $2.1 billion. As you can see, Trulieve began in 2014 after Florida launched their medical marijuana operations. The company blossomed after Florida voters in 2016 passed a constitutional amendment that broadly legalized medical marijuana. Now that they have finalized the acquisition of Harvest, Trulieve will have 149 retail locations in 11 states, including Florida, more than 3.1 million square feet of cultivation, and just over 8,500 employees. Before the deal closed, Trulieve had 85 retail sites in Florida. Their CEO, who is Kim Rivers, said Trulieve will have approximately 37% more retail locations than the next closest competitor and 50% more, or 1 million square feet more, cultivation than the next closest competitors. We can see here that Trulieve reported revenues of $215 million in the second quarter of 2021, with a net income of $40.9 million, while Harvest reported revenues of $102 million. So as you can see combined, that's quite an increase from where Trulieve was before the acquisition. So we see here pretty much all of their revenue in Q2 came from medical marijuana sales in Florida. For the bulk of the revenue coming from only one state, their figures are nothing short of impressive. 2020 revenue came in at $521 million, over 2 times their 2019 figure of $252 million. So you can see how fast they're growing there. Moreover, they have been profitable for 14 straight quarters, and the revenue growth on both a quarterly and annual basis is remarkably consistent. And we can take a look here at how quarterly and annually their revenues and earnings have consistently grown. And we can see here that the growth isn't slowing down with the chart that's displaying the number of new patients registered to receive medical marijuana per week. We can see here that Trulieve owns and operates 24% of all dispensaries in Florida, but make up 46% of total Florida revenue, showing that people just love their product and they're keep returning. You can see they're expanding in 2 different ways. They're adding medical marijuana dispensaries in new states, and they're also branching into adult use in states where the law permits. So they're moving into recreational also. So we can see here they're now in California, Nevada, Colorado, Arizona, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, Connecticut, West Virginia, Maryland, Georgia, and Florida. So they're expanding a great deal. So they now have operations under construction or in effect in 10 different states, with only 2/3 of their stores in Florida. The number of the stores they are currently allowed to operate, varies from state to state. The point is, in the infancy of marijuana market, Trulieve has a footprint in several states, and they do so profitably. So that the marijuana industry is only going to grow from here. And we all know it's just a matter of time before it's legal nationwide. And as every state becomes legal and eventually the whole country becomes legal, they've already got a stronghold in some of these states, and their revenues will just skyrocket when it becomes legalized. And here you can look at some of the products that they're developing and that they offer. Now let's take a look at some of their financial data and some of their valuations. As you can see here, their revenues, as we stated before, are just skyrocketing. 2018, their revenues were 102 million. They grew in 19 to 252 million, to 20 and 521 million. So they were just doubled year over year there. And then this past trailing 12 months, they're at 713 million. And as you can see, their gross profits are skyrocketing also. They're currently at 501 million. Their net income keeps improving year after year also. Just in the last few years, going from 53 million to 63 million, and now they're at 91 million. We look at their EBITDA, and it just has staggering growth also. From December 2018 at 38 million to now, the trailing 12 months is over 317 million. Their cash and cash equivalents since 2018 was at 24 million and has now grown all the way to 289 million. Their current assets are at 442 million right now. Their total assets are at over 1.1 billion, while their current liabilities are only at 76 million, and their total liabilities just at 390 million. So their assets to liabilities have a great ratio going for them. Looking at their estimates here, they had a forward PE in December 2021 of 26.12, and they're expected to have one in December 22, a forward PE of 20.55. With a company that's growing as fast as this, that is not high whatsoever. Look at their revenue estimates and their forward price to sale of 2.06 and coming up and expected for next year of 1.21. To me, that is just dirt cheap for a company growing this fast. They're expected to have a revenue growth of year-over-year growth of 84% this year, and then next year still another 70%, reaching over 1.64 billion. And that's just astounding growth. When we compare them and their valuations to their sector, we look here, and their gap PE, while it's slightly above their sector, the forward PE, which I prefer to look at, is 15% lower than their sector median. We see their enterprise value to sales their current is right in line with their sector median, but the forward EV to sales is 23% lower. One of the things for a growth stock that I prefer to look at also is the price to sales. And we can see compared to their sector median, their price to sales is 41% lower, and then more importantly, their forward price to sell is over 32% lower. I believe that's just huge. We also can look at their price to cash flow forward, and it's 27% cheaper than their sector median. And then when we look at the growth numbers here, this is where you can really see how it blows all the other cannabis companies out of the water. Their year-over-year revenue growth is 94% compared to the sector median of 16%. And their forward growth, so expected growth, is 86% compared to 13, almost, just shy of 14% for the sector median. Their EBITDA growth forward is 67% compared to only 10% for the sector median. That's just a staggering number to me. And one other thing is their return on equity growth. We can see that it's 79% currently compared to 17% for the sector median. We look at their gross profit margin, and we see it's at 70% compared to the median being at 54%. And lastly, the cash from operations are at 71% or at 71 million, which is most companies are at negative 15 million. So this, as I said, a profitable company, can't speak, I'm sorry. It's a profitable company compared to most all of the other companies in their market. I just believe that this company is currently, the way it's been beaten down, is grossly undervalued. We're talking about a profitable stock that is just growing astronomically in a sector that's growing astronomically and is only going to continue to grow like this as more and more areas legalize it. You're talking about a profitable company compared to all the other companies in this sector being unprofitable and not even growing at the rate they're growing. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got some value out of it. And just please give me a like, give me a subscribe, and maybe give me a comment. I appreciate it, guys, and have a good day.